Oh, 18, 12. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Hey, Addy, how you doing, buddy? Hey, from Italy, cool. Our crew, what's going on, bro? T-Rex Slings, how you doing? Double D's, how you doing, bro? You can give me a thumbs up if the audio and the visual's doing pretty good. Besides seeing my ugly mug, looks a little bit blurry on my end. Hang on a second. See if we can get this all cleared up a little bit. Good so far. Perfect. Oh, so really nothing too exciting going on today. Just figured I would pop in here for a quick chat. I'm going to be making some bands. I got some of the pink 100% from Omega Slings, and I gotta get a couple of band sets going. I'm lacking a set on this guy, the Axiom X, and my Pocket Thumper from Island Made Catapult. I absolutely love this little guy, so I want to see if we can get a couple of band sets going on. Well, if I can stop dropping my elastic. And I may actually put another set on this guy here too. Let me get some simple shot frames shooting a little bit. Get all warmed up. Once I get back into form, I will start shooting some more videos, some regular vids, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I won't stink it up too bad. Where am I from? I'm from Canada. Yeah, Canada is all right. It's not the best place in the world to live right now, I don't think. We're going through some weird crap over here. Probably not the best, but it is what it is. TaylorMade, how you doing, my friend? So nothing too exciting going on this morning. Just getting a little couple of band sets made here. I've got some 100%. We're gonna taper these guys from 18 to 12. Oh yeah, absolutely. He says, yes, I know it's very hot, but Canada is fantastic and has lots of fantastic flora and fauna. Absolutely. Actually, a buddy of mine and I have a couple of cameras set up on his property, and we're constantly getting in different animals, different videos of animals like moose and bear and all kinds of stuff. It's a lot of fun. And whenever I get a chance to head on up there, we do a little camping and a cook and a camp out there, swinging in our hammocks, having a couple of pops. It's a good time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country out there. But it's definitely not hot in Canada right now. It's pretty damn cold, actually. Yeah, yeah. TaylorMade. I got two rolls coming of the Omega White. I've got one of the 4.5s and one of the fives coming. I'm just waiting for it to show up. It's in the mail. They're probably going to blast me with custom charges again. God knows all the taxes isn't enough, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's going to be. They caught me with $20. They caught me with $20 of custom duties coming into the country last time. First time in a long time that I've gotten any extra charges from stuff coming from the U.S. Little disappointing, but no big deal. Still worth it to support some buds. So what all are you guys using now to attach your pouches to your bands? I was using for the longest time the amber belt, and then I found I was having problems with it sometimes, like to get them I guess tightened up properly became a little bit of an issue. Sometimes it was too much and it cut through the band. Sometimes it was not enough and it would slip and cause a friction burn. So I ended up switching to wrap and tuck for a little while, and I found that it added a little bit too much weight to my pouch end and kind of slowed down my ammo. Not a great amount, but it slowed it down a little bit. So I ended up switching over to crystal string, and I ended up getting that same issue with the I ended up getting the same issue with the crystal string. You know, the little friction burns with it slipping down the end a little bit. So I ended up trying out the old constrictor knot, and I've had absolutely no problems with it. Seems to be working really good. I use the best. It took a while for me to get a good cord that I liked. We were using. I started off using the inner strands of paracord, and it worked. Not the best, but it worked. And then I started using waxed thread for leather. That worked pretty good, but it's quite expensive, even though it seems to last quite a long time. But I would prefer to keep it for my leather work than anything else. And then I actually went towards, I tried the old butcher string. This is 1mm butcher string. Stuff is fantastic. Works great. Holds on to everything nice and tight. Not an issue at all. So this is probably going to be my go-to. I know everybody has their own ways of doing things, and that's the beauty of slingshots, is everyone finds their own recipe of how they want to shoot. And then once you find it, you stick with it, you fine-tune it, and you become a sniper in no time. Hammer belt, wrap and tuck, eh? I never tried that. I used to use little bits of elastic like this for my wrap and tuck, and it was super secure, no slipping, no nothing. It was great actually, but it was just a little bit heavy on the pouch end and slowed down my ammo speed. And anyway, so I ended up switching over to this butcher string, which is super light and works fantastic. Hey, Fede, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, spring string from the butchers. That's the stuff I'm using, buddy. Shades. Huh. Fly backing line. Ah, that's a good idea. I never thought of using that. I got a bunch of that stuff here too. Would have been a good idea to try out. It's super light. It would have been a great idea. I should try that. Come on. Wrap and tuck. Yeah, I don't mind doing a wrap and tuck on on frames that are um, no clip frames. Doing wrap and tuck on there, I have no issue with that. That works fine. I just don't like doing it on the pouch end. I find it makes it a little bit too bulky, but it seems to work. It actually, to be honest, there's nothing really to hold better than that, in my opinion. I've tried a bunch of different sizes. There's nothing really to hold better than that. But I just don't like the bulkiness of it. But that's just me. Really, it comes down to what works for you and the shooter. And, well, that's pretty much that. I don't know if any of you guys or how many of you guys know of Shane's work over at Island Made Catapults, but the guy makes some beautiful frames. And he's got this new one that's coming out, or it's most likely already out. It's basically this tiny little EDC monster that folds up so you could slip it into your pocket, and it winds up being very close to the size of a large lighter or a small pocket knife. It's pretty damn cool, I have to say, and I wouldn't mind getting one for my collection. Shane makes some fantastic stuff. I'll give you a close up of this guy in a second. There, a little pocket thumper. It's a small little guy made out of brass and anodized aluminum, and it's got some nice metal clips on it. Thing's a little monster. Love this. I love this thing. Although it could probably use a polish. It's starting to get a little bit on the tarnish side from the oils on my hand. But look at that. I love this frame. He did an amazing job on it. Unfortunately, I did get it with a frame hit at one point, but really not too bad. There you go. You can see it there. Really not so bad. I could probably do a little work and buff that out. Wouldn't be a problem. But oh yeah, can't wait to get out and shoot this little guy. Oh yeah. All right, that's one done. Let's get this guy. Let's put a little frame on this guy. I don't know how many of you guys have shot the Axiom X. I know I've probably said this before, but I really thought this thing was a gimmick. And yeah, it is expensive. But when you get this thing set up to fit your hand perfectly, it just locks in there and shoots like a beast. And it's really, really light for the size. What I am thinking I might do with this, though, is once I've got it dialed in perfectly, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Loctite those screws in place and make sure it never comes undone again and just leave it as it is. Although I've done quite a bit of shooting with this, and I have a video where I think I shot like 50 shots on this. I think it was a 40 paper target. It had like a 40 mil, maybe 40 or 50 millimeter. I'm not 100% sure what the diameter of that bullseye was, but I completely took out the other thing, and there was not one shot that strayed. I did some amazing shooting with this thing. I really, really like it. Yeah, it should be fun. So I've had this idea of how I want to set up this room in here, and my wife showed me this really cool thing. It's like a pegboard rack with these little hooks, and you can set them up onto the wall. And I want to get all my frames hung up on the wall, all the way across, all the way on the back wall, all of them just sitting there, hanging, chilling. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to slowly start picking up those panels, setting them up against the wall. It's going to look really damn cool, I think. Really, really damn cool, actually. We'll see how I can get it working. I'm thinking of doing that on one side and then possibly putting up like a fake brick on the back wall, give it like a nice studio look in this room. So when I start doing lives and whatnot and unboxing videos or whatever it is, it'll look a little bit more professional than this than my son's old baby room, all bright and big bird yellow, you know. Yeah, if you get a chance though, definitely head on over to Island Made Catapults on Facebook and check out the stuff that Shane's putting out. He's a great builder. Hey, Twisted Zodiac, how you doing, buddy? Shades, was the frame hit my first? Sadly, no. Actually, hold on. I was actually sent a frame like this. This is called the Casper from Prime 4 Catapults. They made me one set up, ready to go to do a review on. And I went outside in the freezing cold and I was shooting it. And damn, that's heavy bang, boy. And sure enough, the ball slipped out of my hand. I hit the resin and broke a giant chip off of it before I got to do the review. I was doing like a 10-shot Tuesday video just to get a feel for it before I did the review. And I blew it up. I was so upset. And I felt so bad because I didn't want to do the review. I didn't want to do the review with a damaged slingshot. Although I did do a review with this one. But he made a little bit of adjustment to the design of the frame. And I wanted to set it up, but I broke it. Anyway, after a lot of apologizing and whatever, I'm over it now. But yeah, that was another one. And originally, my first ever frame hits came from my Evo. I was actually in the video, shooting the review for that video. And I started just, I don't know, having a little bit of fun. I was just having a blast. I was shooting great that day. And I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this can, I'm going to throw it up in the air, and I'm going to try to snap shoot it and see how many times. And I actually hit it a few times. And I was going to put it in the video, but then I heard, bink, and I put a big dent in it. I'm like, that's what I get for being stupid. I should have practiced that kind of shooting with a frame similar to this, like the Sniper Sling one. That would have been a much better option. And instead of damaging my slingshot, I would have damaged possibly my hand, which would have been okay with me. But anyway, it is what it is. TaylorMade, which one did you get? You wrote, I got one on the Black Friday. Yeah, they had Black Friday deals. Are you talking about the Axiom X? You're going to be happy with it for sure. And you got yours set to 85 mil. Okay, I think that's what you're talking about. Oof. Evo Ergo smashed my hand 4 times in 4 shots. That's crazy. Oh, that must have hurt like hell. All right, so I got to get a set cut for this Axiom X. I believe it's 25 millimeter, 23. All right, we'll be good for with the 22 on there. What do we got here? That's the 18. We can put that away. 2212. Go. All right, so what I'm going to do, you see how these little templates have all these little lines on them? Sometimes, if I want to get a little bit more beef at the fat end, and a little bit less beef, or a little bit more beef at the pouch end, I'll just cut my bands right off of this line here on the backside, and I take that center strip and I just toss it. I know it's a waste, but instead of actually going ahead and trimming my bands this way and that way and getting all that crap, just tossing out one little piece that I'll probably use for a wrap and tuck on a wrap and tuck frame. Anyway, not really the end of the world. I just throw it into my pile that I keep on the corner here, and that's that. So I think that's where I'm going to go with this. Yeah, for us here too, TaylorMade says I grabbed a bunch of pro models and a ton of latex. I've got a few pro models lying around here. This is the limited edition one, the silver one. I got one of those. I also have the Ocularis. That's one of the LE models as well, but that one's in cranberry and the color is beautiful. Probably the prettiest colored frame I've ever seen. Actually, same as this, right around there, same color. Really, really nice. I'm not crazy about the Ocularis, although it is fun to shoot long draw. But the Scout LT, probably. Well, actually, this is a Scout LT LE, but I think it's very similar to the Pro model. It's probably the best production slingshot I've ever held in my hand, or one of them anyway, right up there with some of the Wasp frames, but excellent stuff. I bought some precise bands from AliExpress. They're really hard and I can't hit anything with them. Maybe I should cut them longer than usual. Yeah, you can cut them longer, or you could reduce the size of your band too. You can maybe cut like a straight cut of 1818 or something like that would probably help out. When you make those tapers, they end up stretching more towards the max at the end, which makes the draw sometimes go up a little bit. So it might be worth trimming them back a little bit and taking some shots and just figuring it out. But what size ammo are you shooting that 0.8 with? Just curious, Gabriel. Pocket poacher, you go over there. You know what? I think the stylus, is that really thin one? It kind of looks like bat wings almost. I think I have a stylus. I think I do, and I think I like it. I've done a little bit of shooting with it, and in a couple of vids, and it's really, really nice. I got the cheapy one without the clips on it though. Works pretty good, very, very accurate. I don't know. I really like it. Stylus is the way to go. And there's also the Torque X. I haven't tried yet, but I'm interested in trying that one out too. I've heard a lot of people like it. I know Benji over at the Sling Den really likes it, and so does Can Vandal. They like both of those. Both those guys like that frame quite a bit. I'm really interested in trying it out. Rolling Outdoors. How you doing, bro? Yeah. Okay, I thought so. I got so many damn frames now, man. I forget. I got them all packed in bags and everything. I haven't seen anything in quite a while. I gotta really get some time in here and start, putting things away and get things all set up and off the floor and whatever. Once I get that done, it's gonna be much better looking in here. Yeah, we're surviving. We're surviving over here. Everything is pretty good. The weather's been kind of interesting, so we'll see how it goes. Today I'm going to be hanging out with you guys in the morning, and I'm heading over to the dealer to get my car fixed on a Sunday. Imagine that, huh? And anyway, it'll be back to the grind starting on Monday. But now that I got a little bit more daylight happening here, I actually have like 25 or 30 minutes of daylight before it starts getting dark here. So I think I'll be able to start popping out maybe some short videos coming very soon once I get home from work. And if my son doesn't have any wrestling, it'll be pretty good. Some of them may be some shorts. I know I got a couple little thing of shorts going on, so I'm going to try to film a couple of those today with some of my favorite slingshots. And then we'll go from there. But once I got time to really sink my teeth into a longer format of videos, I'll get back right into that and start filming. Yesterday, I went out to hang out with a couple of my. Gabriel, you're shooting 8mm steel. 0.8 bands are way too heavy for that kind of steel. I would definitely shoot 0.455, maybe 0.6. After that, you're pretty much overkill unless you're doing really, really small tapers like 18 to 12 or 15-10, something like that. You really don't need big bands for that kind of steel at all. Definitely overkill. And actually, you'll probably end up getting more shots out of your bands with a while shooting a heavier ammo, because quite often when you're shooting overpowered bands and shooting very light ammo, you'll find that it's almost like dry firing your band, which is not good for it. It needs to have some kind of load to actually send there, so the energy can transfer into the projectile. Otherwise, you're just snapping the bands and they're taking a beating, and it's not really good for them. But if you're gonna play with your tapers a little bit and try to thin them out, you should get some pretty damn good speeds and a pretty decent longevity with them. But if you're doing like a fat or a wide style taper, like a 22 to 12 or anything like that, it's going to be, it's far too much. Just to give you an example, with 0.8 bands, where did that slingshot go? On this guy here, I've got some 0.7 sniper sling on here. I would shoot 9.5 millimeter steel or 11 millimeter steel with this and still get pretty decent speeds. I'll be doing a review on those bands as soon as it starts to warm up a little bit. One of my favorite simple shot frame. You will see when we shoot the stylus. The red isn't as pretty as the Axiom Max. What latex am I currently using? I don't really want to get into this story. I'm not about shitting on somebody's brand, but fuck it, here we go. Okay. One of my favorite bands that I shoot on a regular basis is Dongchi White, which I get at Caddyshack Catapults. I love those bands. Equal to that, or maybe a very close second would be Sniper Sling Yellow. I love the performance, I love the draw. But before I found those two bands, my favorite band was 100% 0.5. And where did I put it? Oh, I keep dropping this stuff here. So the original, where'd it go? Oh no. Okay, this didn't turn out so good. So the original roll used to be green, and I have some lying around here somewhere. Here it is. This is it. This is the original roll, 0.5 of 100%. I was a big proponent of 100% in the beginning. I did a lot of videos with them. I tried the 0.5 first, and then I went to the 0.48, 0.6, and I believe there's another one. I got 4 or 5 different videos of these bands of 100%. Fantastic bands. Great. Unfortunately, I got screwed over ordering from them. Now, I don't know what happened. Maybe there was an issue, but it was actually the second time where my order didn't get shipped, and I had to reach out to the owner of the company and say, hey, dude, what's happening here? And Anyway, they sent me the information the first time. They said, "Oh, sorry, I had a problem. Something was going on. I was sick, whatever." And they were supposed to send me the elastic, which they did, which is not a problem. But when I placed my second order, I ordered 3 rolls of bands, and it was never shipped. Never got a a confirmation. So I reached out to Jan on his website. I reached out to him in person. I reached out to him in groups, asked him questions, and it was just no response. So I went through PayPal, got my money back, and I pretty much swore I would never, ever, ever mention 100% bands on my channel again. Then it became available through South Wales Caddies and through Omega Slings. Those guys I trust 100%. So I will be ordering my bands through South Wales or through Omega Slings, and I will continue to shoot 100% bands, but I will never buy them from Yan directly again. Not from a slingshot place, no way. It burnt me pretty bad considering that I'd done many reviews for his products out of my own pocket, buying them, trying them, shooting them, and I really, really liked them. I got a couple of videos where I did some great shots on when I was shooting the Cygnus. No, not the Cygnus. I was shooting the Beagle version 1 and Beagle version 2. And we went out and did some shots with them, and I was putting out candles with them. I was cutting cards with them. I was hitting, I think I even hit another piece of ammo. It was just tearing it up with those bands. And it was right after that, I'm like, oh man, I got to get some more of this because I was getting kind of low. I have like only maybe a third of a roll left. And anyway, I wanted to buy some more. And I noticed that they had a 0.4 and they had a 0.7. And I wanted to get those done. I later tested 0.7 and 0.8, but that was through South Wales Caddies where I got those bands from. I tested those out, and some of the best winter shooting bands I've ever tried. Fantastic stuff. All right, let's see what else I missed here. Sorry if I'm blocking you. No, it's 100% 0.5. I use 20 to 12. Yeah, 0.8 with 20 to 12 is still really, really, really heavy. I would definitely drop it down to maybe 1810 or 1812 or 1510. Axiom, how you doing, man? Sniper Sync 0.6 yellow is fantastic elastic. I love that stuff. Where are you located, Roland? Are you in the UK or are you in the US? Hey, Northeast Slingshot, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the green either. It doesn't like the cold. It really slows down and doesn't last very long. Although I haven't had much luck with it even in summertime, to be honest. But I have to give it another try with the constrictor knot and see if it solves some of my band snapping issues. Yeah, Roland, it's the same thing with me. Roland Outdoors here wrote, I've had trouble trying to order off of 100%. Seems like you just can't be bothered. It was the same thing with me when I had my issue. I sent emails to the website. I sent emails to him. I was even friends with him through Facebook Messenger, and he wouldn't answer me there. And when I contacted PayPal, they returned my money, and he never even responded to that either. Just didn't care. So I was like, okay, enough of this, man. I'm done with you. My friend, the Italian center, won me. Oh, wow. Congrats. Yep. Rolling South. Oh, South Wales Caddies did that to you? Or was it Slingshot place? Jan? Double D says, I didn't like the sniper sling green. What was the issue you were having with it? You just didn't like the feel of it, or do you found that it snapped early? Oh, really? Oh, but if you he has a website now. I don't know if you know about that. He has a website where he does all of his purchasing. All the purchasing goes off at the southwalescaddies.uk or something like that. Later on, I'll put the link of his website down below. Hey, Double D's. So you didn't like the feel of it, but it performed fine for you. Speed wise, shooting, all that stuff. I find the feel was a little bit off. I found it was kind of like it's kind of like in between the yellow and the black, kind of like it's more firm without the zip that the yellow had, I think. But um, I couldn't get more than 200 shots, and I wasn't even tuning my bands. I was cutting them this wide without even shortening them up or anything like that, like I did with this guy. With this one, my let me see my active on this guy. Yeah, my active on this guy is 130 millimeters or 13 centimeters. So I lost 2 centimeters off of this roll, and I still got plenty of stretch. Okay? And it's going to give me lots of zip. It's going to shoot fine. With the other one, I cut extra long with the 0.4 shooting 5 millimeter steel, 8 millimeter steel, and I couldn't get more than 200 shots out of the set, no matter what I did. But I haven't tried the constrictor not yet, so I'm going to give that a shot and see how it goes. But I would definitely, Roland, if I was you, I would definitely give it a try to buy off of his website. If he's not answering to that, then I don't know what to tell you. 76.2 centimeters is my draw length, or 30 inches. Yep. To date, my favorite is Sniper Sling Yellow, but I'm excited to try the new Omega White. Me too. I've got 0.45 and 0.5 coming in the mail. It should be on the way, and I can't wait to try it out. I was watching a little bit of testing. I can't remember if it was on Chuck and Steele's or Mikey's channel, or it was a post or something, but they seemed to be getting pretty good speeds with it. And pretty much, if it's got Chuck and Steele seal of approval or Mikey's seal of approval, I trust it, because both those guys seem to know what they're doing pretty good. Let's get this Axiom X all dressed up here. Tired of looking at it being naked. There we go. I'll tell you what, I really like the clips on the Axiom X. When you drop your band down, it hits that little shelf, drops down and hits that shelf, and it's got a little step kind of milled into it, a little higher up. So not only do you get the force of it pinching, but you've also got a tiny little amount where it kind of goes in like this and locks into place, and that really gives you a secure band hold. Like, I'm not worried about these things at all. Take a look at that. See how that's got that little step? But if you drop it where am I here? Here. Yeah. So if I drop it just above there, inside of there's another little groove that kind of locks everything into place. There's absolutely no slipping or popping out of this thing at all. Oh, man. Yep. Sweet deal. All right. So we got two set up now. It's pretty good. Where are we here? Yeah, and here's the thing. They were over 300 feet per second, but when you're shooting long draw, you can't really max out your bands because it's going to be way too hard to hold on to. So if you, on short draw, I'm sure, I can't wait till those bands get here. I'm sure I'm going to be popping 315 or more out of those bands. We'll see when we get them. But on a short draw band set with 0.5, 300, when I start hitting on a maxed out band set, I start hitting like 300, 305 and that kind of thing, or a band set that's really close to that, you know you got a good elastic if it lasts. The cool thing is that, you know, when I'm shooting, I don't max out my bands. I always give myself a little extra stretch just for the longevity of it, and it makes the draw a little bit better, right? See, I got plenty here. I can go right back to my ear. I don't need to be hitting 300 feet per second all the time, but I know that if I'm hitting 300 feet per second, when I add that extra elastic, I'm still going to be close to that. I'll be maybe 280, 275, which is perfect. It's fine. When I get into some bands, when I max them out and I'm getting 275, I know if I drop that down, I'm hitting 250. And yeah, that's fine at 10 meters. But at 15 meters, I might be getting a lot of drop at that point. You got to keep in mind, as your ammo starts going down, it starts to decelerate quicker the farther it goes, right? So interesting stuff, but Flying Devil Darts Corner, how you doing from Germany? How you doing, buddy? Deez did a quick review. I'm gonna have to go and check that out. I want to see how that works. Loving that electric white. Ah, man, I'm so jealous you guys got some already. Damn, Canadian Customs taking so freaking long. Yes, sir. I almost got 900 shots out of one band set. You're kidding me. Wow. Okay, that's happening. Axum, what do you want? I want that. What do you want? Briggsy, everybody's doing good, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate you, man. You too. I would like to order electric white, but there is not fill-in option. Hey, Brother K, how you doing, by the way? He writes, I would like to order the electric white, but there's not an option to buy it in Finland anywhere. I guess it would cost you a fortune to get it into your country, or is it a legal issue? Would it cause you issues trying to get that shipped over to test it out? Yeah, I can't wait till those bands get in. Once they arrive, the testing will begin. And we'll just have to find a way to do some warm weather shooting because we're well into the minuses here, and I no longer have the basement to shoot in anymore. So we'll have to find a way to be able to do it. Maybe I can pop a couple of shots in my garage or something. It won't be warm, but it will be warmish. Like even on this guy here, on my companion, I've got some sniper. I might be lying to you, actually. I think this might be South Wales Caddies. This might be South Wales Caddies point. Yeah, 0.65. Might be South Wales Caddies 0.65 on here. Good stuff also, though. Really, really like it. And good for shooting in wintertime when it gets cold. I don't know what it is with the black elastic, but they seem to shoot better in the cold, like the Simple Shot 0.5 too. It's another elastic that shoots well and lasts long. Yeah, it's I can't remember what the temperature is. What does my watch say? Oh, we're only 0 degrees today, which isn't so bad. 2 days ago it was -20, so it is what it is. No shooting in that kind of cold. Although I have done it before, but I got to beef up my band so much that it's not really a pleasure. And your hands and your fingers freeze, and you get frame hits and stupid things like that. Hey Simon, how you doing, bro? I ordered the cleaver from Simple Shot. Works amazing. Oh, nice. Is it a clip version or I think I've seen that. That's another one of Mark Siljan's designs, I believe, right? Oh, I appreciate. I'm glad those Flying Devil darts corner says the band test that I've been shooting helped them out a lot, and I appreciate that, man. I'm glad that they helped you out. Steve, how you doing, buddy? Everything is good. Everything is good. How are you doing? Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. Yeah, we got to get this. We got to get this Simple Shot set up here. So I'll get another band set going. I don't know if I'm going to do. It's a 20 millimeter tip. I could probably squeeze a 2212 on there. I might do that. We'll squeeze a 2212 on there, and then we'll put the bands away, and we'll just chat. There we go. I don't know who the first guy was who invented these band cutting taper jigs, but that one's not going to be good. But they should be issued a Nobel Prize for that thing, because I'm telling you, it really makes life so much easier. You get your bands cut perfectly, nice and uniform, with no problems, no deviations. And as long as you keep your roller cut, you'll never ever your roller nice and sharp. You'll never ever have an issue. Oh. I don't know why they changed the color of the 100% 0.5 from green to pink. I believe the pink used to be the 0.55 back in the day, and the green was the 0.5. I don't know why they changed it, but anyway, I actually preferred the color of the green, but we'll see how the pink 0.5 performs. I don't really know if it's going to be the exact same or not, and it'll be hard to tell because that roll that I have there is like a little over a year old, so or it might almost be 2 years old now. Actually, thinking about it, but if it's old, then it might not be performing the way it did originally. Although I really, really enjoyed shooting those bands. I'm hoping I can get some more shooting done with these, and probably test out what the differences between the old roll and the new roll, and see how they feel, and maybe even get the scale on them and see if there's any weight difference or anything like that. I know a while back, Chris over at Catapult Carnage was talking about GZK bands back in the day, like the difference between the orange and the green and the black, and the only difference between the recipes apparently was the ink. and that the ink was actually the thing that was making them change speeds and had different reactions with the latex, which was very interesting. So I'm wondering if that's the same thing with this, is they're having issues with the green, and they can increase the longevity of it by changing it to pink. I don't know. Could also just be bro science or theories, but I've heard that from multiple people, that really a lot of these times it's just the colors that really make the difference. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Yeah, you have a white one too? It's crazy, yeah? You got white, you got pink, you got blue. Yeah, I had the blue. I had the blue .75 too. I got that from Jordan over at South Wales Caddies, and I don't know. I really like 100% bands, and their heavier bands just seem to have a nicer draw than many of the other brands that I've tried. They just draw really nice. The .75 and the .8. I think the 8 was an orange, if I remember correctly, or a dark yellow or something. But it's both of them were really, really nice. Shot great in the wintertime for shooting 9.5 steel. And actually, one of my other favorites let's see if I have any here. I got some .75 to test out from South Wales Caddies that had like a green on one side and yellow on the other, and they were fantastic in cold weather. The draw was really reasonable. Got good speeds. I got a review on it somewhere too. And I did. I think I did a warm weather test and a cold weather test. So I shot it outside in the beginning, then I brought it inside and shot some shots to see how it performed. To see the difference between the speed drop from indoors to outdoors. Yeah, I think my rule of 100% green. I think this is somewhere around 2 years old. I'd have to go back and check when I made the original video, but it's around 2 years old. And this one I just got recently, a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, of the pink. We'll see how it goes. I really like the green because it puts a nice contrast on stuff on the edge of the fork. All right, I'm gonna let go of one of my secrets. Okay, when I'm aiming and I'm looking down my fork, I'm gonna get one with a band set on it. So when I'm aiming and I'm looking down my fork, what I tend to aim off of is not the very point of the fork tip. It's actually right off the top of the band where it attaches to my fork tip is what I use. So I'm always pushing my band sets to the exterior of my forks. And when I'm aiming off them, I aim off right off the tip of my fork. And that's what I use right off the band set at the tip of my fork. I know it seems like a very, very small detail. The difference between there is probably maybe 1/8 of a millimeter of difference between where it attaches to where I shoot off of. But when you know that saying, aim small, miss small, it's all part of it. And that's what I do. That's what I aim off of, is right off that little thing. Even if I'm shooting a little guy like this, you'll see I got that guy right up against along the tip of the fork. When I draw it back, I look down my band set, I see where it attaches, and that's it. And I shoot right off the edge. It actually works a little bit better with heavier bands, shooting 9.5 millimeter, that kind of thing. It works much better. But off of these thinner bands, it really, really gets thin. So I really got to dial that in and hold it there nice and smooth and nice and tight. And then I just kind of like, let's let it slip out of my fingers, and it's on like Donkey Kong. But I try to make my aiming reference as tiny as possible. and I tried to take my target and make that as tiny as possible to get my accuracy. Seems to be working, but anyway, we all have good and bad days. Yeah, the 0.5, it goes forever, eh? Dan, how you doing, buddy? Dan's in the house. Yeah, so we're just for those people who just showed up, saying hi. Basically, all we're doing is just making some bands, and we're putting some forks together, some banding up some old frames that I haven't shot in quite a while. So we got two from Simple Shot. We got the Axiom X and the Simple Shot Scout LT LE. It's a limited edition one that they first came out on the first roll of these aluminum frames, which I have to say for a Simple Shot was about time. They came out with like a slightly nicer. Not that their frames were bad before. I mean, I have of the regular. Hold on, of the regular Scout LT. I've got another one here in orange and brown, and I actually have another one in black, black and gray. I really like that frame. I gave one to my son. I have the orange one, and then when they came out with this one, I bought this. But the Scout LT is a fantastic frame, and it took long enough for them to get a nice model of their frames, and now they're doing it, which is kind of exciting because I think there's a lot of people out there that wanted to have like an aluminum torque with clips, proper clips on there, and that kind of thing. I don't think I have a screwdriver here, which is unfortunate, but it's about time Simple Shot did that. And that's one of the things I like too about Dan's frames over at Straws and Dan's Leighton Straws and Caddies is that he's got a lot of these a lot of those poly frames that he's putting these clips on, which is really nice. And I don't know why people weren't doing it before, but it's totally worth it. And I'm sure in the scheme of things, it's not that much more work for them when they're busting those things out on a CNC or however however they do it. I don't think a lot of these guys do these those frames all by freehand anymore. I don't think there's that many people doing that anymore. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I gotta tell you, the Scout LT, it almost seems like it was made for my hand. There's a lot of pinch grip frames out there that I find are a little bit too large and uncomfortable for me. But the Scout LT just slides right into that webbing on my palm. You'd see it's got like very little extra room, just that little peep down on the hole there. But the stability of it, once you put a little bit of weight on it, everything locks into place, and it's just a beauty. Just a beauty. Yep, it's pretty good. All right, so we got a couple of frames to do some shooting with this week. All dolled up and ready to go. Actually, I should probably find my Spitfire too. I've got that packed away somewhere since I moved upstairs, and I don't know where it's gone, but I gotta find it. Got my uncle here today, so I can't stop. Well, we are talking slings. Nice. You guys have a good afternoon then, for sure. I was trying to explain that's how I aim on my live earlier, saying color of the fork against the elastic makes it harder with white bands on the lighter color. Yeah, it's true. It's true. The color of the fork kind of goes through the bands because it's so light and thin once you stretch them out. But I for some reason I like white bands. I don't know what it is about them that I like, but I find it really I don't know. There's less distraction, I guess, for the stripe going down, and I can just worry about. I don't know. I'm just talking crap. I have no idea. I just tend to like white bands, just like my Gongchi white. I really like those. They're nice white, straight up bands, and I just shoot well with them. That's pretty much it. That's all I got. Yeah. There's a couple of others that I have back here. Actually, this one's got some Gongchi white on it. Yeah, so does this one. That's my Wendigo from Chuck and Steel. Actually, I believe I got this from Smoke Slings. He sent me this guy over here, but it's the Wendigo and the Rougarou. He sent me one of each. Both really nice. I got these ones pretty much maxed out though, but they shoot pretty well. And that's one of the pouches from Caddyshack that I modified with a smoking hot 8mm steel to make it a pit pouch. I found they were a little bit too thick and the ball didn't sit nice. I felt like it was a little bit too big, so I turned it into a pit locating pouch. And the little piece of ammo sits in there quite nicely. Let's see if I can find one here. Yeah. It fits pretty nice. And it lowers the profile. It's not as chunky anymore, which is kind of nice. And the pouch still performs flawlessly, really. I actually wish that that Wayne would actually make them like this, because I would buy them far more often. But I find the other way, they're just a little bit too thick, and makes it a little bit harder on the release. But this is one of those frames that I would love to get in a custom. Great little frame, little Wendigo, awesome stuff. And I also got this guy, and I kind of feel bad because I can't remember the guy's name, but he was from over in the UK. He was making these guys, and he also had another one. I can't remember what he called it, but it was, I tested his 3 frames, and one of them I just couldn't even figure out how to hold on to it. But after messing around with it a little bit, went outside and shot it, and it just shot like a king. Shot like a king. Love it. Yep. Great stuff. With my Gongchi white on there too. I love that stuff. Well, yeah. So far, we've been I've been working real hard trying to get the weight down. We've got I want to try to do another canoe camping trip this summer, possibly 40 kilometers, maybe a little longer. We'll see. If you can see in my pile of junk back there, I've got my backpacks hanging up, and I got my bike that I've hooked up to a trainer, and I'm basically going crazy on that thing multiple times a week, trying to get some exercise in and get back into shape. But that should be a real fun trip. Get out there and do a whole bunch of hiking, camping, fishing. And this time around, when I go around there with my boy, I'm going to bring bring a couple of slingshots, and we can shoot at some targets or something like that while we're at camp and while we're relaxing by the campfire, having a good time. So it should be pretty fun. Get some shooting in. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to bring clays with me or steel ammo. Most likely I'll bring steel. I know a lot of people think that that clay is better for the environment and whatnot. But I want to get your thoughts on this. Here's where I'm looking at it. Okay. Steel, when you shoot steel, yeah, it's going to land on the ground. It's going to make a little silvery, shiny thing from time to time. In a couple of days, it'll start rusting. And probably within a year or two, that 8mm steel will completely disappear back to the earth. Not such a big issue. You're not really polluting anything. There's no harsh chemicals. There's no bacteria. There's no possible parasites. There's no eggs. There's no fungus or anything that could be in that can cause any harm to the environment at all. Clay, on the other hand, these clay balls that we're getting from God knows where, our type of earth, coming from somewhere that's not our country, most likely, could have insect eggs or parasite eggs or funguses or bacterias in there that can harm the flora of the area that we're living in or introduce other pests. So, I don't know. That's where I'm coming from. I don't particularly think clay is probably the best option to go shooting in the woods. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we're worried about the environment for the steel," but they're getting clay from different countries like China or Vietnam or who knows. And not to knock those countries in any way, but there's a reason why we don't allow people to bring fruit from one country to another, because they may be bringing in diseases that we don't have here, like what happened back in the day with Dutch elm disease in our area and almost wiped out all our elm trees. And we're reliving this again in Canada with the emerald ash borer, which is killing all our ash trees now. And they're just complete ash stands, just completely toast. Little boreholes through it, trees just dying all over the place. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Steel's fine as long as it isn't in your neighbor's yard. Agreed. Yeah, they really don't dig that at all. Lone Wolf, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I've got a big pile of clay ammo here, and I'm not really sure what to do with it. I'm probably gonna end up shooting it and getting rid of it or whatever. I was planning on or hoping to do a slingshot demo at a trailer park for kids last summer, but it didn't pan out, and I was keeping that. I was keeping those clays for that reason. I was going to bring a bunch of frames similar like this one, for the kids to shoot and set them up at a table and pop some cans, and allow each kid five shots at each can, and the first kid to the kid who ends up cutting the can would win a prize, that kind of thing. Do a little demo on safety and, make them all wear glasses and whatnot, just to be on the safe side. But it didn't work out. So I still have these clay ammos, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get those kids out to do a little shooting. And we'll see you next summer. Hopefully it'll happen. It'll be cool if it could. It would be nice if at one point we could actually have some slingshot tournaments out here in Canada where we don't have to worry about going to a different country or getting passports and finding places to stay and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, this is exactly my point. T-Rex Slings, he writes, steel or rust if it sits on concrete for 10 minutes. Absolutely. Outside in the woods, in the elements with the shade and the cold and the wind and the rain and all that stuff, I would be very surprised if it lasted more than a year. Maybe 2 years to make it completely dissolve and disappear, maybe. But I don't know. I don't see there's any real reason to worry about that at all. I think the concern about clay is a whole other ball game. We don't know how long they've put those in an oven, or even if they do, if they just dry by air or whatever. So. Yeah, I can't even get clay. I can get steel ammo at the same price as clay out here in Canada, so I don't even bother with it anymore. And if I'm gonna go and shoot somewhere, where did I put that thing there? Anyway, if I'm gonna go shoot in the woods now, I've got my little green catch box, which is kind of buried in the corner, and I got my 2 Steers Wild Slings catch bags that I bring with me, and whatever, I recuperate as much as I can. If I want to cut a couple of cans or shoot a couple of mushrooms or something like that with steel, maybe I'll lose like 25 or 30 of them. It's not the end of the world. I don't really care, but it's definitely better to trap your ammo and more cost effective for sure. But where I live, I mean, to buy like 500 clay balls cost me $25, where I can buy 1,000 8mm steel ammo for 28. So, Not worth splitting hairs over clay or steel. I'm just going to buy steel. I shoot better with them anyway. They're more uniform sized. So anybody see any new frames out on the market recently? Anything cool that tickles your fancy, gets you going? There's a couple of them that I want to check out. I haven't seen anything really that I really want to jump on. Although I have been chatting up with Andrew over Prime 4 Catapults. 5,500 off of Amazon for 21 bucks. You're gotta be kidding me. Man, we get screwed in Canada for everything, I'm telling you. Not even close to that amount. There was one time I think I got the best price I ever found was 2,000 for 40 bucks. Crazy. The last time I bought ammo, I bought 10,000 rounds of 8mm steel for, I think it was like 150 bucks, and that was shipped off of eBay. But at that point, I'm good for the whole year easily, and if that's what it cost me per year to shoot, then I'm in. It was 150 bucks tax and shipping in, and I had 10,000 rounds shipped to my house. And whoo, let me tell you, I had this. Man, I don't know where anything is, but I have this, those little percolator coffee pots? They're about this big. The coffee will come up through the top and you can see it bubbling through the glass on top. I got one of those full right to the top. And where did it go? I don't know where I put it, but I got another smaller pot filled with ammo. It's just nuts. And I've been shooting away at it for quite a long time. Although I have to clean out my catch box again and give them a vinegar bath. But I got this guy here that's filled with ammo that I pulled out of there the last time. A lot of rusty balls in here, but like I said, I gotta give them the old vinegar bath, clean them all up, get them ready to go. And while these ones are soaking, I'll go and clear out the next batch for the next soak, and we should be good to go. Nice and heavy, and on the top half too, I've got some. I've got a couple more of the 8mm steel in here, but even in this one here, I've got some 9.5 and 11mm steel in this one too, and one clay ammo, just one. Don't even know how that got in there. But yeah, that's I gotta get myself another one of these. I don't know if you guys have any of these ammo sifters, but man, I'm telling you, when you're cleaning out the catch box and you're like me and you like to mess around with different sizes of ammo and all that stuff, and you start seeing that big pile of crap in the bottom of your catch box, and you're like, oh man, it's gonna take forever to sort by hand. Yeah, I take my magnet, I put this thing on the grass, put my magnet inside, scoop them all out, drop them into the hole, and it just does all the work for me. So I've got one for 9.5 8mm or 9mm steel, so the 8 will pass, but the 9.5 gets stuck. And then I'm gonna have to get another one for maybe 10mm steel, so the 9.5 will pass, but the 11 will stay. And then I'll be in business. No, back in the day, actually, my dad used to use a tumbler for brass, but we don't have it anymore. So a tumbler would work fantastic. Actually, it would probably be better than the vinegar, only because the vinegar after will cause it reacts with the carbon in the steel, and it will give it like a gray-like patina on it after. So basically, what I've done is I heat up the vinegar to about, just so it's warm. You can put your finger in it, but it's still uncomfortable. So basically, I usually get it to boiling, and then I just shut the heat off and I put it aside until I can kind of dip my finger in there without screaming. And then I throw it all into a big Tupperware, and I just let it soak for a little while. I used to do this with my carbon steel knives. I used to have a Mora knife that would get these little rust spots and whatnot, and I started forcing patina on it, and it would protect it from a little bit of humidity. So I got the idea of doing that with my steel balls. Removes all the junk off them. Then you give them a good rinse off under the tap, just to wash off all the vinegar and everything that may be on them. And then I just give them a quick soak in some water with some baking soda in there, trying to stop the reaction of the acid, and then just dry them off. 2 ways you can do it. Same way I do my cast iron pans is I just dump them onto a baking sheet, and I throw them into the oven at 225 degrees for about 20 minutes. Problem solved. They're dry. Or if you really want to get the hands on, you can dump them into a pillowcase, an old pillowcase type thing with a crappy towel inside, and just give it a couple shakes for a while and whatever. But the oven works much better. That's what I do. And then they're good for quite a long time. But sometimes they get a little bit of grayness on them, so you'll have little gray spots on your fingers or on your pouches. But usually that baking soda bath will help it. Bit of lye works too. I make some. Ooh, nice. Atlantic Woodsman, how you doing, my brother? Everything's good over here, buddy. Everything's good. All right, Shades, you take care, buddy. Always good to see you, bud. Always good to see you. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with my ammo. I've got a catch box full of, that little blue fella that I stuck up on my fence there. If you've seen some of those vids, I got to go and empty that guy out. I probably got about 2,000 or 3,000 rounds stuck in that guy now too. So I'll have to clear that guy out, give them the bath, and then once they're done, we'll add them all back to my my steel can, and I'm probably good for another year before I have to go and order any more steel again. That's for sure. I am thinking about setting up another catch box in the backyard. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it yet, but I don't know. The way things are going here in Canada, it gets kind of sketchy sometimes. So I've got that funny sick ass plum tree in my backyard. That thing's got to come down. So that's going to be on the agenda this year for summertime. So I want to cut that guy down, and I'm going to replant 2 more trees in my backyard to get some privacy and be able to set up my hammock in a couple of years, hopefully. And then at the same time, I want to get another one of those barrels, but not the same size, one slightly smaller, and I'm going to put it right down at the end of my stairs. When I come down off my deck, the bottom of my stairs, the plan is that when I get some cash together, some time and some will, I'm going to dig all that up and put in some flagstones and have a gazebo down there where I can actually just hang out there, even if it's snowy or rainy, and I'll be able to shoot right off my deck. That's my hope. So I can actually get my barbecue down there, get everything set up down there, a nice cooking area, a place where I could shoot, cook and smoke some food, and not be seen by passersby or police officers or public security or anything like that. When I want to shoot long shots, I'll do that. But when I'm shooting just in my backyard, I'd rather not anyone but my neighbors see me. My neighbors are really damn cool, but not everybody is cool. I had some weirdo one day just stand there and stop and stare at me for like 20 minutes, and I turned around. I was actually filming a video, and I could see the clown like sitting up here in the corner, like right around here, and he's just like staring at me shoot. I'm like, what the fuck? Is he gonna end up calling the cops on me or be like, hey, this guy's a weirdo? You never know. There's Karens everywhere now. And one of my other neighbors had told my neighbor that I was shooting at the birds, which is not the case. I actually had her come over. I'm like, look, I'm not shooting at the birds. I'm shooting at the target box I put here behind my tree, which is why you can't see it. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll go tell her to shut up. I'm like, ah, perfect. that's what I needed to hear. Quarter-inch or BB pouches seem to be hard to find. A slingshot doesn't seem to sell them right now. If you're looking for a good one, let me see if I can. I'm pretty sure I have some left. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but they're made by Warrior Pouch. And they're small little leather guys made out of kangaroo leather, and they're fantastic for really, really small ammo. Part of me wants to say they're called the Apache. I can't remember exactly. I can't seem to find one at the moment. But it's basically like a quite a small oval-shaped pouch. Perfect for very, very small ammo. So quarter-inch or less. They're great. And after you use them, they actually almost turn into like a pit locating pouch. They kind of mold around the ball, which is really, really nice. And you can find them on Etsy or on eBay. And just check out Warrior Pouches. Good stuff. Club makes some nice forks. How do I go over there and check these things out? Atlantic Woodsman Club. Never heard of it. Oh, Plum. There we are. Yeah, they do make some nice forks. Actually, one of the first slingshots that my son and I made, naturals, was a natty off of that plum tree. We had a nice little Y on there, and we cut it out. And I'll probably do the same thing. I won't, when I cut that tree down, I'm not going to toss it out. I'm going to keep it and use it for carving spoons and things like that. Spoons and maybe if I got a big enough piece, I'll make a cooks out of it. I don't know. I've already made one of those somewhere. I don't know where. I have two of them actually, but one day I'll show it to you. But yeah, it's a lot of nice wood that's in there, so I'll keep that and add it to my crafting stuff. I'll just cut it nicely and store it under the deck while it dries. Why can't you get Warrior anymore? Are they not making them anymore? I used to love the Warrior Mongol pouches, but I couldn't get the blue ones, and I prefer the blue ones to the red and the natural colored ones. The blue ones were a little bit thicker. My little scooter spot down by the river is an awesome place to shoot. Yeah, when you get those nice little spots, you can just get out there and just let them rip. It's great. Those woods that I used to do a lot of shooting in all the time was a place where it was pretty much, I would go there 10 times and maybe see one other person. And since the pandemic, the place is packed with people all the time, leaving their garbage and their shit everywhere. Drives me crazy. And, you know, a lot of times, like I had one time I was up there, I got a little fire started and I was cooking a steak. And some lady was walking her dog. Little bastard comes running in, grabs the steak right off my grill and fucks off with it. I ended up well, basically not eating that day because their dog stole my steak. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but you shouldn't be making fires in here. I'm so sorry. Your dog shouldn't be off the leash. But yeah, here we are, right? Probably the same person throwing garbage around. I honestly, Jedi Spork wrote, I didn't know that Warrior was still making pouches. I will check them out. Thank you. I really don't know if they're still going. The last time I made an order, I bought 20 of the pouches and I've been shooting them forever. And I haven't bought any more because they hadn't had any of the Mongol blue pouches, like I said, that I liked. So the last time I had good, comfortable, nice shooting pouches, I got from West Mitchell, which I have right here, actually, if you want to see. I got from West Mitchell and my buddy Gasper. Gasper sent me a bunch of his pouches, which are fantastic. He had two different models. One of them was a cowhide, and the other one was goat. And actually, I prefer the goat pouches, maybe even better than the kangaroo pouches. But these ones here are kangaroo, and they're beautifully made by Wes, and they're comfortable, they're durable, they last a long time, they don't stretch too much. I mean, they're like, you can really pull on these, and they hold their shape. They don't go nowhere. So you're getting, I mean, these kind of pouches. I mean, I got a nice fat stack of them here. These kind of pouches will last forever, a long time. And the thicker you get them, I think these ones are the, he calls them the heavyweight pouches. There are, I think there's an extra heavyweight that are a little bit thicker than these ones. More comfortable. They shoot fantastic. And Wes sent me a whole bunch of these, so I've got quite a bit of these to shoot for quite some time. And not an issue. You can see these ones here. This is the natural colored one, and they're slightly thicker than the other ones. But again, same shape, same comfort, same everything. They last forever. Can't go wrong. So if you're ever looking for any kind of pouches and can't get your hands on any, shoot Wes a message. He'll set you up. He's got some great stuff. Although one of my favorite pouches of all time was the Warrior Mongol pouch. Great pouch. A very close second was the bone pouches from HDH. I really like those as well. But they changed the way the slot was on the side for the band, and I don't know what it is, but I can't get on with it anymore. I just can't seem to get it doesn't feel the same, just from the stupid hole, believe it or not. So I have a couple of the original ones with just a hole in it, which is pretty nice. But the ones that I got the last time had that slot in them, and I'm not a big fan of it. But all the pouches from Wes that Wes has, that I've gotten from Wes so far, have been fantastic. And they're pretty much my go-to. And actually, these ones here, these King Gao or whatever they're called, I don't know the name of them, but these are also Wes pouches as well. He cut these out of these microfiber pouches, and I'm about to give those a little try and shoot them and see how I like them. Yeah, I've got some of those Timber 26 pouches. I got these from Wes. Wes sent me these guys. He had some lying around as well, and I wanted to give them a try. Some of these ones here. I'm gonna have to get these guys set up and give them a shoot. But there's something about how this point goes there. I might try to give that a little bit of a trim and see how it goes. I find it's a little bit on the long side to attach my bands to. And we'll see how it goes. But there's also this one. It seems pretty nice, and I could see this being great for 0.4 bands. But these guys here have that similar slot to what HGH was doing with their bands. But I've got a nice pile of these guys too that I'm going to have to get out and give a try. Give it the good old try and test and see how I like them. But the quality of these are really great, are really nice, and I like how we finished them with the dye that he used on them. It looks great. Looks like a nice old weathered leather. Should be fun to test out. And they seem very. Hey Davidson, how you doing, buddy? Those pouches, they seem very firm and sturdy. So I can pretty much guarantee you that as those break in, they're going to feel fantastic. It may take a couple hundred shots or so, maybe more, to get them ready, maybe a couple band sets even. But once you get a good firm band pouch to break in like that, totally worth it. We have square boxes here in Germany. Normally, prepare for a mortar perfect catch box. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, we've got a couple of these catch boxes that we buy from different places, and they seem to work. I've had a couple of them though that didn't even last a couple of band sets before they broke. But the last one that I got from Sniper Sling, my black one, I still got it outside. Actually, it's still pretty good shape. And this new one, which I can't even remember where I got it from, but it's holding up pretty good. I think it might have been AliExpress. Jedi Sport, that's bad news, buddy. I'm gonna have to go look at it and see if I can get some of those warrior pouches. See if I can find them anywhere else. Because the warrior Mongol pouch, I just love those pouches. They're fantastic. Axel, yeah, Wes does make great pouches. Some of the best I've ever tried. Have I seen Davis's slingshots on Omega? No, I don't think I have. I have never seen them. I'm gonna have to go by and check it out and see what's going on. Um, I can't really do any more slingshots at the moment. I gotta kind of lay low for a little while things are getting sorted out in my country here. But once things get a little bit better, if I get some more YouTube money in soon, I'll be able to pick up a few new things and see what's going on. I don't know if any of you guys would be interested or not, but I'm probably going to be doing a raffle on Facebook pretty soon, probably by the end of the week or so. Maybe I'll put up. This is the first natural slingshot I've ever made, or I ever carved, besides ones that I've besides one that I just made out of a tree fork. This was made out of a tree fork, but it was all hand carved by me with a pocket knife, and I'm going to burn my name down there in the bottom, little ATO, and I'll probably put my signature in there, ATO mark. And I'll probably raffle this guy off. This guy was made out of a piece of beech. It's very, very comfortable, very well finished. You can have a look at that. The grain on it, it's absolutely beautiful. But I think I'm going to raffle this guy off, and we'll see. Somebody out there can have the first original ATO slingshot ever made. Yeah. It's a little, the only reason why I'm not keeping it, it's a little bit wide for me. It's I think it's around 100 or 98 millimeters. Yeah, something like that, 98 millimeters. But I'm probably going to raffle this guy off. I may do like 20 slots for like maybe $8 Canadian or $10 Canadian. I'll include the shipping with that, and we'll raffle it off to 20 people and see what happens. But fits nice, feels great. Anyway, if you guys are interested, I'll post it up there and see what happens. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Let the pigeons loose. No, they're doves for you, buddy. They're doves. Yeah, that's a step up from pigeons, my friend. I have to bail, guys. It's been awesome, Mark. Nice one. Catch y'all soon. You take care, Roland. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Does Fowler do the work? I have no idea. I've never actually purchased anything off of Fowler's website. I've tried a couple of times. But when I saw the shipping charges that he was trying to charge to ship from Maine, I think is where he lives, to, or where his business is, to where I live, it's a 6-hour drive from where I live, from Maine to here. A couple of pouches or an elastic or a plastic slingshot, something like this, with the weight and the size of a package it would come in, does not cost $35 USD. And there's no way I was going to do that. Just to give you an idea, I bought an Alice pack from Finland, and it cost me $11 shipping from a website called Varustaleka. Now, I would like to know, how is it possible that I can get a backpack with a metal frame on it and a harness system shipped from, what, 5,000 kilometers away? Maybe more, across an ocean to my house. But I got to pay double that, if not more, from a 6-hour drive from the United States to Canada. Go. Who could explain it? As much respect as I have for Fowler, he's got amazing outdoor skills. He's a great shooter, and he's probably a great guy. But I will not buy from somebody who's going to gouge me like that for shipping. No way. I'm going to buy a $15 frame, but it's going to cost me almost $100 to get it here in Canada and Canadian funds. No. Gregory, how's it going, buddy? Davison, greetings, Mr. Mark. How you doing, buddy? Mark Townsend. Yeah, we're up a little bit early today. I figured for those early risers, they can come and join me for a coffee, which I am almost out of. And for the guys in the UK, it won't be too late while they're out doing whatever it is they do over there. So they can come by and say hi and chat. I figure it works out for everybody. I typically get up on the weekends anywhere in between 4:30 and 6. All depends on the day. And Monday to Friday, I'm up at 4:15. So here it is. Yeah, I got that old man problem. Huh. They sell out as soon as they go on the site, mostly before the live is over. $100 for a custom work of art. Really? Wow. I don't know. I'm going to have to check them out, and maybe I'll just reach right out to Davison myself and see if we can get something going at some point soon. And I'll get a review going and do all that fun stuff. Well, I've prepared a set of 1510 of the 8 precise bands. Hey, Gabriel, have you actually tried sticking those on there and see how they feel? See if it lightened it up quite a bit for you? I would also probably add maybe an extra centimeter to your band set and see how it feels. But you're on the right track, dropping that down to of your sizes and see what kind of speed you get, because that 0.8 for 8mm steel is going to be ripping it fast. I sold the pigeons loose. Happy days. Derby Brother said that. 2 sets actually, and 1 for me and 1 for my wife. Ah, your wife shoots too. That's awesome. I wish I could get my wife to shoot. It'd be fun. Nah, I don't think he offered warrior shots. I can't remember the guy's name from Warrior. I used to follow him. I can't remember his name anymore. But he made some really great band pouches, high quality stuff. Davison variant. Man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. A lot of yes, sir, Verustalika. I know you have a couple of their knives. I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them in your videos. That thing is freaking awesome. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a big monster. Yeah. For a lot of my stuff, actually, a lot of my outdoor gear, when I was on a budget, I was buying from Verustalika. And if you're looking for some good military service stuff, military surplus stuff, probably the best military surplus store there is in the world. And I actually did a couple of winter overnighters in a sleeping bag that I bought from there. That was it was a British military sleeping bag. Awesome. I slept like a baby, nice and toasty warm. It was heavy though, but man, great stuff. Yeah, everybody. Charles Smith, he wrote, hitting 4 inches below intended aiming point. How do I fix it? 10 meters distance. Here's a question for you. If you're hitting low, there is a couple things that could be happening. One, You could be shooting a frame that's too wide for your anchor and your setup and your body size. If that's happening, you'll start dropping your shots low. Okay? If you're shooting a frame that is too narrow for your size, you will be shooting high. Now, I found this out just by messing around a little bit. By accident, I was shooting a frame that was a 95 millimeter frame, and I was always dropping low, and I thought it had something to do with my bands, but it wasn't. When I adjusted my frame width, and I got a frame that was a little bit more narrow than my 95 millimeter, which was a 90, and it was my, which frame was it? It was my Titan Hunter. My shooting completely changed. Everything started lining up where I was aiming at it, and that's where it is. I have a video on this if you want to see how your ammo reacts by changing your fork width. Now, in that video, I use all the same bands, all the same tapers, and everything. And I go from 100 millimeter fork width all the way down to an 85 millimeter fork width, and you will see where I'm aiming at the dot and at the bullseye, and I shoot that for a reference, and then I change fork widths, and you see where the ammo goes. It really, really explains it well, and I think it's worth checking it out. I think it's I can't remember the name of it, but it should be in my tutorials playlist. You'll find it there. It'll really figure it out for you. If it's not that, then you may have a problem with your release. But most of the time, if you're consistently always shooting a little bit low, then that's your issue. Is your fork width is a little bit too wide for you. There's a couple of fixes for that. You can either drop your anchor a little bit, which I don't recommend. I am a big proponent of always anchoring in the same spot and gap shooting. So if your frame is a wider one, like this one is, let's just peel these back for a second. Instead of aiming off your fork tip, you're going to split your target in half and drop down about that much. And then you're going to hit. Now, it's the same thing for shooting long distances. So if that's the case at 10 meters, you're going to want to drop it down and split your target in half. And you're going to have to figure out your left and your right to make sure everything is shooting straight and you're not going to the left or to the right a little bit, but that will solve your issue on doing that way. When you're shooting a TTF frame, all bets are off. You can't do that anymore because when you lift it up, your fork, if your target's here, when you lift this up, your fork tip is going to block your target. You're not going to be able to see it. But on OTT, that you can do. What I suggest is on a shorter width frame, you'll want to aim a little bit under it and gap shoot. So if I'm aiming right at you, let's get this guy set up here. Boop, right there. Let's say we want to hit me right in between my eyes. So I'm lining up like this. I'm just going to drop down here and figure out what gap is. So if I'm shooting at the spot where my glasses connect, I'll want to line up, hold it, and then let it go and have it come up and hit the target. That's how I would handle that, and always keep the same anchor point. Because if you train yourself to have an inconsistent anchor point, every time you're shooting, you're going to be all over the place all the time, no matter what frame you hold. Charles, I hope that helped, but I really do suggest you check out that video. Scrama, yes, sir. Oh. Yeah. What's on my list this year? Any plans for new bands and slingshots you want to test? I got a few things on my list this year. Number one is going to be I want to implement a few more outdoor videos to my repertoire, I guess we can call it. I want to be doing a few more camping trips and a few more of that stuff, including slingshots. This is a slingshot channel. I want to continue to do that. However, I get bored shooting in my backyard all the time. It's great for practice, but it's not good for videos. I want to be able to get out, do some really, really good shooting in beautiful places with great scenery and that kind of thing. That's on the menu for this year. Yes, we're going to keep on trying certain bands. I'm going to try to do some certain tests. I'm going to do a few more tutorial videos. I've got some ideas that I've written down in my little book, my little book of secrets. Whenever I have something pop into the noodle there, I write it down into the book, and then I try to expand on the idea and see what I can bring to you guys, like I did with that the the difference in weight on pouches and ammo speed and temperature and ammo speed and all these things. I'm going to try to pull all that stuff together and bring that to you guys as I go. Obviously, I want to keep doing some reviews on slingshots, but I also want to do a couple more build videos. I kind of regret not doing a build video on these guys or on this little fella, which is one of my absolute favorite long draw shooters, and I probably have never felt a slingshot that felt so good in my palm as this one does. I know it's got a really weird little shape to it, but it just lines right up and it just shoots great. It's a really great shooter. I have a video of this where I went out looking for tree forks, and I was just out there shooting, having a good time with this little guy, popping cans and shooting long draw and all that. And I want to do more of that. And I think what I'm going to do is a lot of these guys, I'm going to do these videos and of my natural tree forks. I'm probably going to raffle them off and see how it goes. I think that'll be the fun, the thing. I think that will be something I'll be adding to the channel. I love the military stuff. I have 3 sleeping bags. The heavy one is an Arctic one. Yeah, that's the one I have. It's a British military Arctic sleeping bag, and it's like all OD green, and it's actually cool because when you hop in there and you got your head put into the hood and it's got a baffle to keep the air out and all that stuff, but it attaches all the way down with Velcro. So if you ever have to get out in a hurry, like something's happening or like a coyote walks into your tent or something like that, you could just bust out of there like the Incredible Hulk real quick and be out of your bag and ready for action in no time. And it's actually really quite warm. It also has a couple of pockets inside too for us YouTuber guys who like to bring cameras and do all that stuff. The biggest enemy of your batteries is the cold. So you want to keep those things close to your body, but not where you're going to feel uncomfortable. And it's got all that in it. It's a really great sleeping bag, and it's got a nice toe box, so you could actually sleep in your boots if you wanted to. Awesome. Have a great day, bro. I know what it feels being Canada. You're all of a sudden broke and you work your ass off. Bro, let me tell you, man. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. You know, when I had my Volkswagen TDI, it was costing me $120 a week in gas alone just to get back and forth to work. They were charging us $2 a liter. $2 a liter, which winds up being 3.78. It's around just under $8, sometimes over $8 a gallon of gas for to go back and forth to work. It was costing me a freaking fortune. That car crapped out, and now it's costing me around $100 a week to go back and forth. I got to fill my tank twice with a regular gas car, and it's just everything's expensive. Gas, food, everything. It's just killing me. Hey, Tom, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see. Yeah, I hope you're doing good, buddy. Hey, Lone Slinger, how you doing, bro? Hey, have a great day, T-Rex. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Yeah, I love the Incredible Hulk. He was my hero when I was a kid. I saw him at one of the Canada Day parades one time here out in Canada, out near Montreal, and there was some dude running around with his shirt off, all covered in green. I completely freaked out. I couldn't believe it. I love the Hulk. I was just a little kid at the time, but he was great. Yeah, so pretty much a lot of the stuff that I started out with on my outdoor adventures was the military surplus stuff. I had one of the little pup tent tarps, all that stuff. Stuff was great. It's very durable. It takes a beating. Not a problem. I almost got one of their bedrolls too, but I found it was a little bit heavy, and when it arrived, it really smelled bad. Like it's like it had all the mold in the world in it. I just couldn't keep it. It was just disgusting. So I never ended up using it. I ended up getting a Climate Static V 4 season bedroll, which insulates quite well from the ground. I mean, I have an overnighter on this channel of me and my brother hanging out, and I think it was like minus 14. Slept in the tent and on the ground. Woke up in the morning with some snow. We cooked some ribs over a fire. Did a little bit of snowshoeing. The snow was almost 4 feet deep, so it was you had to have the snowshoes, otherwise it was a nightmare. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was hoping to do an overnighter out on the ice this year and do some ice fishing, but I haven't even got my license this year for Quebec, only in Ontario. So we'll see what happens. But I was hoping to get out at least one time this year and go for muskie fishing, like I do almost every year. In 2017, I caught my personal best. It was a 52-inch muskie that barely squeezed its way through an 8-inch diameter hole. Thing was an absolute monster. Had teeth on it the size of a German Shepherd. I freaking love that fish. Probably one of the highlights of my life, really, when it comes to outdoors. But gonna have to give it another crack this year, because as of next year, there'll be no more winter fishing for muskie anymore, which really sucks. But anyway, we still got pike. Pike's good, but I like going for the biggest predator we have in the waters up here. Hey Kai, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, that was fun. I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was. I think I was shooting this guy in that video where I chewed out that whole center of that paper target. I must have had like good 30 shots through the center of that, and it was not a problem. Yeah, you might be right. Something that Snoopy lives in. Old Polish lava. Oh wow, very cool. I actually made one a lavu out of an old tarp and an extended pole. No, the winter fishing is fine. Mike asked, how come no more winter fishing? Well, the reason why I didn't even bother buying a fishing license in my area this year was because I've gone out over and over and over again and just caught nothing. Like it's been fished out. There, there was a point where I had this little secret honey hole spot where I used to go on a regular basis, and me and my buddies would go there and we'd catch hundreds of fish, and we would return like 90 of them each, and we'd take like 10 home, have a good meal or two for the family, catching things like perch and walleye and whatever. But um, a couple of guys found our spot and fished it out. They took everything they kept every single time they went. They were there every day. They just kept taking and taking and taking. And it got terrible because they were leaving their propane canisters and pizza boxes and all kinds of crap all over the ground, and it was really frustrating. But yeah, the people like that, they get away with it. They fish out areas, and then they don't go there anymore. Oh, sorry if you lost me there for a second, guys. I'm back. But yeah, that was the issue. So hopefully I can find another good spot and people won't spot me. I'll have to wear like snow camouflage or something so they don't catch me. And don't have to worry about people stealing my spot and eating all my fish. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Flying Devil. You take care, buddy. Yeah, I had a problem with these people that found our area. I'm not gonna go anyway. Basically, they were doing things that drive me crazy. Like if you don't throw trash in the waterways, you just don't do that. I mean, there's a garbage can right there. You can put it in your car, drive it home, throw it in the garbage. It's really not an issue. You know, I mean, it's not hard. But they took everything they caught, and if it wasn't one of the species that they wanted to catch and eat, they would kill it and leave it on the ice. Like they were catching pike, and they would put their knife through the freaking thing's eye and then chuck it on the ice. And I'm like, oh, you know, they're good eating, but they're kind of a pain in the ass to fillet. And he's like, oh no, I just don't want them eating my fish. And the guy would kill them and throw them on the ice. And to me, that's completely unacceptable. And there was a call made to a phone number. It's called anti-briconnage. It's an anti-poaching thing, but you could pretty much rat out any loser that's doing stupid shit like that. And anyway, the number was called, and the complaints were made, and the pictures of all the cigarette packs and the cigarette butts and the canisters of propane and all that was posted along all the groups online. Because a lot of these people will troll these groups trying to find out people's fishing spots that caught really big fish. And in this particular spot is where both me and my buddy caught a 50-inch, 50-plus inch muskies, two of them in the same day, two separate fish. And we were afraid that if these people saw those fish, they'd be killing those too. Now, we used to catch pike and muskie in that little bay on a regular, and now we very rarely catch them there because all the bait fish that were there are now gone. Now, I think if I'm using my noodle a little bit, I was thinking that those areas were a spot where the pike and muskie would come to feed, fatten up, and get ready for spawning season, which is in only a month or two later. So they need to get as chunky and as large and as healthy as possible for when they lay their eggs and, go through the whole breeding process where they're not I don't know what you call it, where they're not eating as much and they get a little bit skinny, because usually you see them after the breeding season, they come in and they're thin. They're thin and they're not chunky. They don't have any meat on them. The one that I caught, actually, you know what I'll do? I'll post a picture of that muskie on Facebook soon. And I'll show you that picture. You'll see the size of it. Now, catching fish like that's rare. Catching a muskie is rare as it is. Catching 250-inch muskie in the same day is like seeing a unicorn twice in one day. It's pretty much it. I don't know how to explain it really, but it's not very often you catch a fish that size, and catching two in the same day is really rare. And I pulled that thing out. I pulled a fish that was 52 inches long out of 3 feet of water. Imagine that. Imagine that. The fish was longer than the water was deep. Crazy. Yeah, it's true. If resources aren't preserved, then they disappear. And if the people that don't care about them, and there's not enough presence of, we'll say, law enforcement to come by and enforce the rules, then whatever. And that's why a lot of the people just don't really care. There's not enough natural resources people in our area to actually check out anything and to make sure that people are following the rules. I was out on the ice one time, and those guys were there, and they walked up to me and I think it might have had something to do with me or my buddy making the complaints to the anti-braconnage or the anti-poaching number. They showed up. They asked us for our licenses, saw what we were fishing, checked our gear, said thank you very much, and walked away. Went over to check the other guys, and a whole bunch of them got busted for not fishing with a license. And they were all back the next day. They all got tickets for their no license, and they all got tickets for having fish that they were not legally allowed to keep on the ice as well. So, but you know, our fishing license in my area was $19 at the time. Imagine, $19, and they chose to break the law and leave the garbage everywhere and whatever. So, hopefully that doesn't happen again. But I haven't seen that crowd at that spot again. So it may take 4 or 5 years for those numbers of fish to accumulate if they haven't gone down too small to the point where there's none left. And it was one of the only places that we were able to catch crappie there too. And we were getting big slabs, like good 14-inch, 12-inch, 14-inch crappies out of that water. And now you can't even catch any of them. It was like, anyway, it's like a dead issue. And for those of you who fish crappie, a lot of times you'll find them in lakes where there's not much current, but you don't find them in rivers very often. If you're in a river somewhere and you're finding crappie, it's because you're in a really secluded bay that has a deep hole where they could suspend and come up to eat little bugs and things like that. And in this case, we were smashing out crappie there. We'd keep 3 or 4 each, you know, 2 or 3 times a year, go home, have a little feast for the family, and everything was good. But we keep some of the really, really biggest ones, and we put everything else back. Only ones that were really worth keeping. And now they're all gone. That's it. Is muskie good to eat? Both muskie and pike are pretty tasty, but they are a real pain in the ass to clean. There's lots of bones. It takes a pretty good skill level with a knife to be able to take care of those things properly to make sure you get them good. Basically, you've got a fillet right from the top of the head back to the fin, and then you got from the butthole back to the tail. It's going to be 3 boneless fillets. And then you've got the whole length of the body where you can skin that out, take a fillet out, remove the bones, take the other one out. Some people choose to zipper them. It really depends on how you like to do it. But I really don't like bones on my fish at all. So I tend just to sport fish, pike, and muskie, and then I just put them back. Although I don't mind eating them from time to time. They're quite tasty, but for the most part, I just put them back. Yep. So this year, I got myself a new flasher. I want to go find some deeper holes and see if I can get my hands on some walleye. For those of you who've never tried walleye, that's a special fish, buddy. That thing is delicious, and I'm really kind of excited for that. For if we can get that trip happening in Algonquin Park this year, we're going through the Barron Canyon because the first 2 lakes that you go through have gray trout or lake trout in it, and then after that. And then after that, it can be quite nice. The first 2 lakes have gray or lake trout in it, and then and maybe brook trout too. But once you've passed those 2 lakes, it's all world-class bass fishing all the way through. So, and the scenery is just phenomenal. So I'm hoping to get a good 4-day trip with my son this year and get some fishing done. Take our time, just do 10 kilometers of travel per day, and be able to fish the whole time all the way down, without having to rush or hurry up or anything like that. That should be a lot of fun. And then we'll see from there what is the goal to see what's happening. I find pike earthy when eating it. Yeah, it can be. I think it depends on how cold the water is and what time of year it is. I've had pike where it's actually tasted pretty good, and I've had pike where it tasted like mud. So it's I haven't quite figured out why. It's kind of like bass too. I find bass right off the spawning beds, they taste like garbage, but later on they're actually pretty good. Same thing with catfish too. Oh wow. I'm actually looking forward to spring this year. There's been many years where I used to go. I used to go catfishing, catching channel cats, and we use chicken livers for this. We wrap it up in this thing called spawn net and put the hook through, and you cast them out. And I don't know what it is with chicken livers, but catfish love it. And I've caught some really nice sized catfish. I mean, Canadian standards. We don't have the flatheads or the blues like a lot of guys down in the U.S. do. But we do have some nice sized channel cats. And I think my biggest one to date so far was around 14 pounds. It was a monster. I couldn't even, my hand, I got a pretty big hand, and my hand didn't even grab the whole side of his body. It just, I had like, I usually grab them under the fins on the sides there. And I couldn't even reach all the way around. You can see the fat of him just drooping over my fingers. It was a really nice fish. I have a, I don't know if I have it on this channel or not, but I had a pretty good video. I was using the chicken livers for catfishing, and we had a flood that year, and I was standing in a parking lot, casting out, standing in a parking lot with water right under my knee, casting out into the just over the lake and cat into the river and catching a bunch of cats. It was a lot of fun. Dipped in chicken blood, eh? Yeah, they like that. They like that chicken blood flavor and smell. It really gets them going sometimes. Yeah, no way. That's a crazy idea. I think out of all the scents that you can buy, you know, people buy that attractant grease that has like stinks in it and whatever it is. I've tried a bunch of those. None of them really work. But dropping a lure into chicken liver goop works fantastic. Yeah, we. I went there. I went to this spot with my dad and my son one time. We went fishing there, and we caught some monster catfish. And it was like, if you had to wait more than 10 minutes in between fish, it was a shocker. But I think we all caught around 10 or 12 each that afternoon. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait till spring this year. It's going to be fun. I'll get my license again, but um, actually we're in January already. So if I buy it now, I'm good for the year. I might do it this year and get it done. Maybe get a nice fishing trip in or two. But it's nice to get out there early in the morning, and I bring one of my slingshots. I bring a slingshot with one of my pheasant heads that kind of springs around, and I can stand there and shoot around all day long while I'm waiting for the you know, for flags to pop. It's a good deal. But it would be really nice if I could actually get out there, set up my hammock, and sleep the night out there, and then wake up you know, the crack of dawn's ass, and do a little bit of walleye fishing, trying to catch that early bite instead of having to be out there on the ice first thing in the morning. You know. Yeah, but that's the goal for the channel this year. Is I'm really hoping I can get some more outdoor videos done, some more outdoor shooting, some more outdoor cooking, and do some one pot meals, that kind of thing. Get one of those deals going, and having some good meals out in the woods while shooting, camping, having a good time. I mean, once you know, being trapped in the backyard all the time, it's not so bad. I mean, I think some of the videos come across with some good information and whatnot, but they get kind of boring and repetitive shooting in the backyard. And I've got other things to deal with, like you know, like neighbors talking and laughing, people's music playing, which caused me an issue with one of my videos one time. I had to take it down. Um, one of my neighbors were playing some reggae in the in the backyard, and somehow it got reported to YouTube, and they basically told me I couldn't monetize it. And when I took it down, I think I got like 50 views off of it. So I just I pulled the video. Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting some shooting done. Hopefully even today. It'd be pretty nice. Yeah, these bands feel pretty damn good, I gotta tell you. Hopefully they didn't change the recipe too much, and we can. I'll be able to get some good shooting out of these bands, because the 100% bands seem to do really well in wintertime. Really well. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen this stuff here that I got on there. You know, whenever you have an injury and you've got that it's like a foamy wrap that you can wrap around stuff and it'll just stick to itself. This stuff works great for wraps. So just go to your local drugstore or pharmacy, and they have this stuff that you can buy, and it works great for wraps. It's super comfortable. And I also have a, where is it? I also got myself one of these. One of my buddies sent me this. Said he didn't shoot it anymore. It's one of those PPMG fellas. And it was his idea. He had this wrapped up with this elastic here. And it feels fantastic in the hand. It feels great in the hand. Wraps up really comfortable. Super great. But it's a little bit on the wide side for me. I think this guy's poking around 102 millimeters wide. A little bit on the wide side for me. But I think I can make it work, and I want to get some shooting with it and see if I can get used to it a little bit. And I'll just do that thing I was mentioning earlier. I'll just split my target in half and shoot a little bit higher and see if I can get that figured out. I really don't want to change my anchor point, but tell you, I've wanted one of these PPMGs for a long time, and I wasn't sure about the finger grooves just to create hot spots or whatever, but it feels so good in the hand. Like it was made for my hand almost. What is it? Sumki 0.45? Are you talking about these bands here? Talking about these ones? These are 100% 0.5. I bought them off of Omega Slings. Great stuff. Yeah, the Medi Wrap, that's what it's called. Yeah, Mike uses the same stuff. Stuff works great. Yeah, Kai, it's 100%. I've been shooting 100% for quite a long time. I've got an old roll here of the green, which shoots real nice. It was one of my favorite bands actually, it is still one of my favorite bands for a long time. Then I found out that Omega Slings was selling it, and they changed the color, so I had to try it, and I want to do a comparison to see what the difference is between the two. If it feels good, if it feels different, if it's the same or whatever. I want to figure it out, so I'm gonna have to test it out and see what the difference is between the green and the pink. Yep, absolutely. And Mike says he likes using the Medi Wrap because his paws get a little bit sweaty sometimes, and it helps prevent slippage. Not only that, but it also helps prevent the cold when you're shooting one of these aluminum or steel frames. It really helps out with the cold. Makes it much more comfortable on the grip too. Adds grip and adds a little bit of warmth to your grip, which is kind of nice. Jack Dawson, the PPMG Plus, best caddy ever made. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know if it's the best caddy ever made, but it feels really good in the hand. And if I can get myself one of these in a 95 or a 90 millimeter, I would be really happy. The grip on it is really nice. Everything seems to be really well made. All those things actually come out of Pro Shot are really nice. I've only picked up one frame that I didn't like from them, and that was called the Canter. I can't seem to get the grip to feel good on that thing. It's just really weird shape, and the way you have to shoot it. I would have to shoot it backwards for it to feel good, but then the tips aren't set up properly for that. I was actually thinking about getting the TTF version. One of my buddies was telling me that from dimp to dimp, it's 95 millimeters. So I actually might be able to get by with that OTT or that TTF frame in the PPMG, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll tell you, it really, really does feel good in the hand. And for something so big and chunky, you'd think it would be heavier, but it's not bad. It's pretty light considering. Yeah. Now I got this guy here too from Pro Shot. It's my Titan. I'm gonna call it Titan Pro or whatever it's called there. Catapult Carnage. It's another one I like quite a bit. Nice, comfortable frame. And I believe this is a precise 0.545. I can't remember the color, what size it is. That apple green color. I did some shooting with this guy. Really, really like it. But again, this one here is also 0.45. If I can get it in the 90, I'll be tickled to be really happy about it. $19.56 Willie, what's up, dude? Mark Townsend, how you doing, guys? Morning. So just to bring you guys up to speed, who are just joining us, we were just out here chatting about a little about putting some bands on some certain frames. We're going to be testing out some 0.5 100% that I picked up from Omega Slings. Should be fun to do that. I also mentioned that I'll be probably doing a raffle for this for the slingshot. It's going to be on Facebook. I'll be putting down some. Hold on a second. I got something on my screen there. It's driving me crazy. Yeah, I'll be doing a raffle. This is the first hand carved slingshot I've ever made. Give you another quick look at that. I'll put the raffle up on Facebook most likely. There it is. Great looking frame. Shoots great. It's got a little ATO down the bottom there. I'll probably burn the an ATO mark in the bottom there, and sign it if you want me to. Yeah, I'm going to be putting this guy up. I'll have all the details in a Facebook page. I don't know quite when. I'll probably do 20 spots for $10 or something like that, or $8, $8 a pop, and we'll see who gets it. I'll throw a couple of other things inside there with the frame, maybe some elastic and some pouches and whatnot. We'll see. What is the PPMG-S or PPMG versus the PPMG Plus? I don't know what the difference is. Yeah, I saw the new clip one. It's freaking awesome. We call them natties. Yep, it's absolutely a natty. Cut it out of a beech tree. And beech, I was actually surprised. Beech is actually a really, really nice wood. The grain on this guy's Very pretty. Yeah. Yep, we're gonna do a waffle. We'll see what we get. Hopefully something cool. Oh, and if you were wondering about those pouches that I got from Gasper a while back, and I was just saying that one of them was a goat pouch. This is one of them right here. It was like a kind of like a blue color. I don't know if it's coming through in the light there or not, but it's got a really nice, soft but textured feel on the back end, which gives good grip. And it's a very supple pouch, so it's very, very soft, lasts a long time, and it's very comfortable. I really like those pouches. They're really good. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all I got to say today, guys. We're going to be wrapping this one up, I think. I got to head on over to the dealer and get my car fixed today. So I got a few things to do before I split, and we're getting close to time where I got to leave. It's about an hour away, so I got to split around 10 to 12. Got a few things to wrap up, but I think we're going to cut this one at 2 hours and 22 minutes. And I will be seeing you guys again very soon. If you guys are down for another live, let me know. And if not, I will be posting the raffle on this guy with some elastic and some pouches and maybe a couple of other things. We'll see. We'll see what I throw in there. But the frame's going to be up there, and I'll put all the details on Facebook. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. And maybe on the next time when we do the live, or maybe in 2 weeks from now, we'll do the we'll do the raffle live and find out who the winner is. All right, guys. You guys take care for now. I will see you again soon. You guys take care. Stay safe, get on practice, and be good to each other. I'll see you again soon. I love you guys. You're freaking awesome. Bye for now.